The ability to change matter means that we must alter the electromagnetic structure of the atom itself. To alter the structure of the atom, we would have to accelerate its elementary composite particles. Now, a law in alchemy explains this wisdom of the subatomic realm, and that law is change the energy, you change the manifestation of the mass. When you change the energy, you change the manifestation of the mass. This is the law of transmutation. Now, we can change the energy to heal or create or achieve a healing process. Okay? Before we can have a chemical change in a substance, we must first have an electrical change. And we use radionics or psychotronics to assist. Okay. Now, quoting from my website, globalfreedomnow.org, psionics, psychotronics, radionics is not new knowledge, existing from the technology of Atlantis, Lemuria, and existing now for those seeking solution. When confronted with problems, radionics believes it's necessary to access the karma or miasm and neutralize it for a complete solution. Releasing the idea of linear time within the illusionary holographic universe that we convince ourselves to be real. To understand radionics, we must understand that everything exists in this moment, right here, now. The problem and solution, cause and effect. The solution is dictated by our ability and willingness to exist in the present solution here and now. The interdimensional formulas that radionics work with offer the means to alter a blueprint and create a now of our intent. If the willingness to heal cannot be accessed, it won't matter how many healers are sought out, the condition will not budge. The successful healer is one that can release the aspect of the blueprint and move it into the now. Healing occurs independent of space and time. Radionics produces undistracted, continuous 24/7 meditative prayer state. Radionics is able to achieve what we wish to manifest because it is not distracted and continues generating our desired intentions 24/7. By creating a conjoined global prayer coherent radionics network, we shorten the amount of time, supposed illusionary time, it takes to fulfill our desires. Now, let's look at entanglement. Erwin Schrödinger in the 1920s discussed entanglement is the idea that when you send photons off in opposite directions and grab one of them, it will affect its twin who went in the other direction. So basically what we're seeing is that everything is interconnected and communicating. So I'm not divided or separate from any one of you listening to this right now. Who you are is a non-local awareness, not limited by time or space. In non-locality, elementary particles separated from one another when they're born still remain connected as though they're part of the same energy configuration. And the reason is because everything is the same energy configuration. The universe is essentially one consciousness in many bodies. You and the divine are one. The supreme ultimate is what you are. And God, or the source, exists as an experience in consciousness, where we are here at this present time of now. And we can use radionics to change the energy, which will direct the change in the manifestation of the mass. Okay, so the device that I build and also share with everyone is the Mega Orb Irradiator Antenna System. So when you look at the system, it uses a combination of sacred geometry chambers and dynamic positioning to open up portals of time and space. And We are also mixing silicon dioxide crystals, quartz crystals, and other types of gemstones and minerals in the mega orb chambers. And these chambers gather intelligence, okay? So programming information. So the mega orb is placed on an insulator plexiglass plate, so it's insulated from the ground. And we can also connect a Tesla DC negative ion power supply, which energizes the contents of the mixing chamber for allowing the programming to rise up the column and to be projected as a scalar wave transmission. In order to transmit the intelligence into the holographic universe, the irradiator antenna, which is the vertical antenna, is placed on top of the mega orb, and this is essentially a transmitting receiving device, just as the human body is. And it's actually designed after that. Okay, so every invention is copying nature in some form. So now regarding scalar waves, these are timeless waves that are transmitted interdimensionally. So they essentially mirror consciousness through the entire matrix, and they travel instantaneously. There's no speed, so they're instantaneous. Here's a summary of my interpretation of how this device works. So, as a body has the chakras, these energy centers that all relate with an endocrine gland. So, for example, starting from the highest to the lowest, the pineal to the thymus to the thyroid to the solar plexus, adrenals to the pituitary to the spleen to the sexual ovaries, testicles at the base of the spine. Now, when you collapse the waveform from merging or marrying the feminine energy with the masculine energy, you create what's known as a scalar wave. And essentially what you're doing is you're creating a singularity. And that's what we're doing actually all the time. And we're creating feelings. So focused thought, intent, merged with emotion of either fear-based or love-based emotion, collapse at the central chakra, which is the heart center, that's creating electromagnetic fields in the holographic universe. So when we change this energy, we change the manifestation of the mass. Now, the female pyramid is represented as the lower pyramid in the irradiator column, the lowest, because it's inverted. The apex is pointing towards the ground. So that's the female, and it's merged with the highest point. So where the pyramid is right side up at the top of the irradiator column, that's the masculine energy. When they collapse into each other, they cancel out yin and yang. They cancel out all opposites to create the singularity, the 0 point, at the center. So yin and yang collapse into each other to create the scalar wave, and by doing so, you change the energy to change the manifestation of the mass, and you can create healing, you can create manifestation of objects in and out of your hologram. You can do whatever your heart desires, really. That's seriously what's going on here, and it's 24/7, meaning it's non-stop, continuous action. So even while you're sleeping at night, this device is programming, and it's with your heart-based beliefs, intentions. Namaste.